Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 12 and we are destroying the bomb caches. And this is an interesting one, because this is actually one of the first real challenging encounters of the missions that you've been given from Wellspring. Everything else has been kind of simple, kind of standard, but this one is pretty tough. And it's going into the Shrouded's bunker and taking down their supplies, basically. And you're going to get access to a new weapon here, which I absolutely hate, and it is pretty much just the RCXD off of Call of Duty Black Ops, where you get to control a little remote-controlled car, and it's a bomb. And I have had so many glitches, so many, just fuck-ups with these cars, it is unbelievable, because they get stuck on geometry, they get wedged, they get in all sorts of problems, and there's no you can do except for detonate them and waste one of your weapons. And they're just not worth the crafting items, in my opinion. They are extremely useful when used correctly. I just don't think they're that useful at all in my playstyle, because they pissed me off, and I don't use them, so you're probably not going to see me use them at all. There are achievements linked to getting kills with them, but you can always do that on a separate run. But this is the Shrouded territory, this is the bunker when you come through here, and this is when it starts. So you're going to get introduced to your very first heavy soldier on this level, and he's got a minigun on his arm and he's heavily armoured, and he'll stand and then aim his gun and then fire, and if he starts firing and you're out in the open, you're going to get cut down to ribbons. You need to take cover, but at the same time, if you can hit him with something hard, you'll stun him, and you can get him into these stun animations where he can't move, and all you're doing is hitting him and he can't hit you back. And he's very simple once you learn him. This start section here though is kind of funny, because as soon as you enter into this room, there's going to be a guy fixing those little cars, and about 2 or 3 cars will come at you with bombs on them, because there's a dude in that window controlling them. But after a while, he runs out of his supply, and then you can move into the room. The reason I've not rushed in is because I know there's about 4 or 5 guys in this room, and they're all using cover. And as anybody that's been playing Rage for the last few hours will know, the enemies are very agile. They will move a hell of a lot because they've got really good animation and really good scripting on their behaviour and how they react. So that's exactly what they prioritise. They run away, they hide, they cower, they do all that kind of good stuff. And I've got a sniper rifle that I've not really been using, so I think why not? What the hell? Might as well use some of the ammo for it, because a lot of times in this game you'll find yourself with a lot of ammo for guns you're not even touching, and it just makes me think that it's a waste. You should... I almost feel obliged to use guns I'm not using just because I've got so much ammo for them, and I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but it must come from Resident Evil Origins or something, where you generally had to use everything in your arsenal just to have enough ammo rationed to take on the real threats. But once you've killed everybody, run around picking up stuff off the bodies. And this very first section, you're going to have to use the RC car to drive through this gap, around the corner, and blow up the first cache. And it's all simple stuff, really. If you know what you're doing, you've just got to remember to save. That is the one thing that makes this game challenging. The fact that the developers were too lazy to put fucking checkpoints in it, and to me it's preposterous, it makes no sense, and it's silly, but to them it probably made perfect sense. Right now, 2 guys will be on this. If you don't kill them quick, they will murder you so fast because they're very close. Luckily enough, if you've got enough wind sticks, you will just, they'll not stand any chance whatsoever, because that gun is that equipment is terrifying. It will kill everything. On this playthrough as well, when I was in the areas, I did try and look in nooks and crannies to spot out any of the collectible cards, because I was going to follow this run with a collectible run of my own. And I'm a bit of a hypocrite when I'm honest to myself, because I don't like using guides to do things in games. I feel like I'm cheating, and it's just because I'm stupid, really. And for somebody to make guides and not use them themselves does sound kind of crazy, but at the same time I feel like I'm cheating, and I don't know why. So when it comes to collectibles, I try my best to find them, but game design these days is so retentive and just ridiculously anal that there's some things you just will never find without help, and it frustrates the hell out of me, and it makes me wish that games put in a mechanic that helped you find the collectibles. It's like, why is there not a feature or an item that you can unlock that vibrates when you're close to something, or just when you hit a pause menu, if you go through to, you know, like your map screen or something, why doesn't it tell you how many collectibles are in that zone and how many you've found? Look at Arkham Asylum. You could get those maps that showed you question marks on where the items were located. They weren't directly where the question marks were, but they were in that vicinity, and it wasn't as if the game gave you every answer, because you still had to find them and solve them, but it showed you where they were. And it's little touches like that some games do perfectly and others really don't. And especially if you're going to get locked out of areas, because I know there's parts of this game where once you enter them, you do what you do there, you come out, you'll never be able to get back in there, and you just know they'll have a couple collectibles thrown in just to piss off that player that's going for his 100% run, and he misses one thing and has to do it all over again. And it's a situation that every single person as a gamer has been in, especially if you're a collectible guy, especially if you like to 100% things, because it's almost subconscious, and you fuck yourself and you don't know you're doing it. And I would have hoped by now that development teams would have been a little bit more lenient with this kind of stuff. And then, I mean, this game doesn't even have a level select, which I know it's not exactly strictly linear sequence of levels because there's the whole sandbox element, but it would be nice to go back through your saves and go to the areas where you missed one thing, instead of having to play through feasibly another 6 to 10 hours depending on how slow you do it. Because the gay thing that I'm finding now is I'm probably not going to get the 100% compulsive achievement on this file that I've done, and I've just done every single race, which means on my next playthrough, when I do get the compulsive achievement, I'm going to have to do all the races again. And I didn't even enjoy the races the first time through. I thought they were awful. Really bad. But that's because I'm not a racing guy. I don't like racing games anymore. They're just not my thing. I find it tedious, and anything I find tedious I don't want to do. And what's the point in doing something you don't want to do? It sucks balls. But these first few areas, every time you go into a new section, there's going to be a stack of dudes sitting behind cover, so you just want to make sure you don't rush the rooms too quickly, and you find out where people are and you pick them off one by one using superior cover. It is literally that simple. If you've got grenades and wind sticks, you can use them to your advantage to get some quick kills. You'll notice I'm using the pistol, even though I do have quite a varied arsenal. The reason for this is I have a lot of pistol ammo, and if you can get headshots with this gun, it can be very useful. And a buddy of mine the other day referred to it as a revolver, and I know he does put the bullets in, and it is, you know, drum fed, it does rotate in a cylinder, but there's something about this gun that just does not feel like a revolver to me, and I think it's because of how fat the barrel is. And there's just this ingrained part of my brain that looks at this and doesn't see a revolver, because the barrel's as fat as my leg. It is a useful pistol though, especially when you put the fat mamas in, or is it the fat slugs or whatever they are. They can be super useful. The standard pistol rounds are pretty weak, but if you hit people enough, you'll take them down. And just make sure you pick up as many of these RC kits as you can, because if you're going to do what I do and not use them, you can sell them for quite a lot. And this balcony here is a really good spot for taking out all the guys sat down there. And another thing I don't like about this pistol is its iron sights. Its iron sights are too fat. I do not like fat iron sights. Just watch any Call of Juarez the Cartel videos to see bad iron sights, and this is not as bad as them, but it's still not to my tastes. But that is something that Rage definitely fucked up for me when it comes to precise aiming. The gun mechanics on this game are very good. It's a solid shooter, but some of the iron sights and some of the gun's performances are not what I wanted. Like the AK-47 rifle, it's got lovely iron sights, but the gun kicks and bounces around so much it makes it completely pointless for a precision weapon. And I think that's tragic, but not that it really matters, because every enemy takes a good 20 bullets anyway, so you might as well just spray and pray. But pick everything up, look in the crannies for cheeky things like that, and just keep pushing forward. One thing I do enjoy throughout my entire playthroughs of Rage, and I've done 3 now, 3 in the space of a week, is pretty hardcore, so it's probably why my opinion of the game has gone so negative, because I'm kind of burned out on it. But the loot system of the game, even though it doesn't really mean much because the upgrades and the crafting is very light at best, it's still fun picking stuff up, even when it's got absolutely no use other than to be sold. There's something fun about looting, and it's why Diablo's, you know, so popular. It's why a lot of these loot-based games get such good a rapport with people, it's because it just scratches that part of your brain that wants to do and wants to find those things and just keep doing that thing, keep pressing that button and gain that response. And this is something that this game does well. It could have done it better, it could be more embellished, but id did what they wanted to do, man. They did what they wanted to do. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about, the new Batman, when it finally comes out. It's actually a week today for me in my country. Your Americans will get it on Tuesday, you bastards. But apparently there are 400 riddles by the Riddler in the game, where you have to either pick up a trophy, solve like a mystery or something along those lines, or a riddle, and various other things. And that sounds insane, but at the same time, I know how much I enjoyed doing it on the last game, so I'm super stoked for that. I think the only thing that I'm slightly, not nervous, but conscious is probably a better word about, is the combat arena, cause the combat arenas on Arkham Asylum were not hard, they just got a little bit frustrating towards the end when you was going for the high scores. Because one mess up basically ruins your run, and I just got a bit pissed off with it. I got a lot better afterwards, which definitely helped, but it was still a frustrating time. And there once again is another testament to Rage's inability to have effective grenades when the enemies use them, yet when you use them, they're absolutely just destructive like a mofo. They take people down, they really do. But this is an interesting room, this, because you are on a balcony, so you do have the height advantage, which is always useful in any of these kind of scenarios. The only problem with this area is there is a lot of enemies that will be pushing you from the left, and you can't really see them until you circle around. But I take my time, as I do with most things, and I just take them out with the pistol. Headshots are plenty. And chuck a couple of grenades, wait for my life to regen. And just keep teetering around the corner, keep spotting them, waiting for them to come out of cover, and doing your Rage thing. It's very simple, it's very standard, it is first person shooting 101. We're not reinventing the wheel here, we're just shooting dudes in the face. But I've got a couple of different videos coming up that are going to be interjected with this guide just to split it up, because there's probably a lot of people getting sick of just straight guides, and I do apologise to those folks, but these are popular games, I need to get them out and I'm busy, so it's how it is. But I do have 2 balls deeps coming, 2 quick looks of Call of Juarez, the Cartel and Body Count, and they are 2 games that I really do not like, so hopefully they'll be pretty funny videos that people will dig. And I'm probably going to do another quick montage for Gears, because on the one I did before, where I did for all the missed shots, there were a bunch of files I didn't even use because I didn't notice they were there. They were in a separate folder. There's only about 1 minute and 30 seconds of headshots when I do sweep shots and stuff like that, but it's something to throw up, and it gives me an excuse to put some more different music on, because I do like putting the music I'm interested in at the time on videos. It's something, you know, primal about it, something YouTubian and enjoyable. And I've only got 6 messages so far, 6 questions for the question time thing I've put up, so hopefully I'll get a few more of those, and I'll be able to get that one pretty quickly up, because I'm looking forward to answering the questions. I haven't read them yet, hopefully they're good. That is the other cache, and I will see you in part 2 of the next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.